Romalo third from the top in the white hats. It's hard to see how he can make an impact today after what happened to him yesterday. But they're giving him a head start by the looks of it. Oh no, he's been pulled back into line, same as the rest of them. And away they go. First to show was the Portuguese crew of Faria and Rodriguez in the middle there. Then this side, next to Burkitt and McGregor, is going to be probably Vold and Yandal, Boulanger and Lucas. And Dagnes in the middle there. I think
Norway. It's Norway. Even Vold and Jemdal that is taking the lead. We didn't. Nearly counted them out. Now they are here in the lead. Norway.
Seems like Jendal might be quite a decent replacement after all. Romalo and Cavallo in the white hats, and to their left, Laurence and Perez in the black boat and Spanish outfit. To the back of the picture on the right-hand side there, I think was the second South African crew. But McGregor and Burkitt safely in the group. A little bit of confusion at the back of the group, as you'd expect, and there's going to be a problem here, I think. Yep, we got two boats coming together.
They managed to put it back together, and I think they're back into the V formation. This was the Argentinians getting spun out by the guys just tipping their back of the rudder. Happens often in these tight races like that. But I met that Norwegian. I'm mistaken for Vold, for the other Vold. So I met him, he said, no, he's just here to have fun. So he's having a lot of fun at the front of the group now.
It's always a lot more fun at the front. The French tucked into the V at the moment, as are the Spanish. And Boros and Salty there, sporting some green glasses in the back.
Romalia will be strong because Ricardo also rested like Hank, and Ricardo's a strong paddler. I obviously trained with him in Villa de Conte. Plus Faria and Rodriguez, they're strong. One's rested, one hasn't rested so much. So it's going to be fun. And the rest of the guys have all paddled, so it probably evens it out. And you can see there's going to be no pressure trying to break away at this early stage.
Salty and Boros, they have really focused on this race. It was their main goal to win this. And Salty told me that they really wanted to win before Hank McGregor stops. So they remember gear, and they want to do it once again. So they have trained really tough for this.
So two boats going out to the side there. The white one went round. The red one wants to go far right and get out of the mess, it seems. Danes to the left of the leaders.
Still Norway in the lead. They have been in the lead for 1,000 meters now.
Coming round the outside now. Concerted effort, and this is going to be trouble because there is going to be a coming together, I'm sure. Did look like the second South African crew.
Like the second South African crew. In fact, it was them coming up, and they really showed that's Kenny Rice and Stuart McLaren. So you've got the two South Africans on the right-hand side, and on the left-hand side you've got Danish, and then here's Romalia going to make a charge on the Danes. And he's going to make it stick, I think. No, he's not. No, he's not.
It's expensive at this stage. There's a bit of confusion in the back of the group, but no one really wants to get involved. You can see it there again. There's people getting in each other's way. It's going to be a three-boat pile-up, maybe four now. Just missed that fourth boat. The black boat there is going to make it in, but there's no gap for them because there's more confusion in front of them. And there's people all over the place.
For sure it is. Most of them are within this big group. Also Sweden are there, Lindberg and Svensson.
It's because really the lead isn't secure at the front there. People are wondering which way to go, and they're having to cover too many options, and that leaves spaces open that two people start fighting for.
Yeah, we've got 100 meters to the turn, and this is where the action normally starts. I think the speed will go up, and those powerful boys are fairly fast.
It's going to be tough to get a group like this round in one piece. You'll probably see a few fractures appear. Powerfulers are being very kind to whoever's on their inside there. You can see Burkitt being squeezed back just a little, but there's the danger. You've got bunching up going on. they've sorted it out. It's coming round well. No stress there for Burkitt. There's no one pushing his tail. So Burkitt and McGregor round in 5th, I think there. Spaniards leading the second group. In the front group still, we've got Great Britain with Charlie Smith and Magnus Gregory. Great news for them. Romalo and Cavallo struggling. The French there, Boulanger and... Oh, it's all happening. It's a tough one from McGregor. Won't be enjoying that in the back of the boat. But they're with good company, so they should survive it reasonably well. Little break for Smith and Gregory. Spaniards back in the game up there. Second Hungarians just going around the final buoy now. Second Spaniards following them. Sweden, Denmark and Argentina following them. But the front group at the present is down to 4. It won't be for long, but it is for now. And it's the Palflers leading with the French tucked in the back. South Africa with Rice on their right, and on their left the Norwegians who've been there from the start, and across come Boros and Salty with McGregor and Burkitt on their wave. Not been too easy a ride for Burkitt and McGregor so far, but the Palflers, they are very up for this and very up for making it hard for the other K2s. Thank you. Well, Rice, Junior World Surf Ski Champion last year in Hong Kong, and he's against some of the big names. He's obviously on good form. Round the outside come the Palflers again, but held off by the French. Fallen well for Burkitt and McGregor. Norwegians have got some speed on them, but I think using it maybe slightly too often. The group gets bigger again. Boros and Salty coming up, but it's going to be tough to see where they can get to. They're going to run out of room before the shallow section. All that effort, and they're going to be squeezed to the back of the group anyway. So it seems like they seem so inefficient on the first few laps. They were terrible. Oh, they've cut in. Look, I've just said they're inefficient, and they cut in beautifully there behind Burkitt and McGregor. So apologies to Adrian Boros there. I thought he was going to come up the outside of the group, and he absolutely bossed it in behind the South Africans. Built up his speed and then cut in quickly behind the green boat of Burkitt and McGregor. So South Africa, either side of the leader. The yellow boat of Great Britain just about hanging on to the Palflers on that right-hand side. It's a nice little ride to the front because the Palflers are going far to the right of the group. So it's a simple job for the Great British crew. They're going past the Spaniards, and they're going to join in towards the front of this group for the first time. If they can allow the Palflers to take them there and then go round them, they'd even end up right at the front. The Palflers' journey ends now, and now's the time to go round and pick off another spot or two. I think. Charlie Smith choosing to duck behind them now. It's the best wave that he's got the option of. It's a good choice. But South African crew there, Rice and McLaren, very impressive so far. Which is Selbu and Mindy.
Both. But this is a significant break, I think. There's a significant... They've actually... That's far better.
Great portrait from Boros and Salty. They run a little bit longer than the others on the far left-hand side of the embankment. And their technique getting into the boat is excellent. So now they are there in the top.
Moving strongly. No one wanting to be squeezed out. French. Dangerous game. Tussling with the French.
And look at the South Africans. They're really looking sharp. They came straight right from third wave. But the South African second crew did a fantastic job, and so did Hank and Andy. Andy had to show a bit of regression for finally. You see that? I think they'll go into this first wave. No one's going. Those guys are a bit... Yeah. You're like me, I don't like to waste too much energy pulling myself up. I rather let other guys that are keen to do it.
And there you go. It was too much today. It was always a big ask, and Romalo and Cavallo are out of this race. It's not a surprise, to be fair, and I don't think anyone would blame them for dropping out. It's not that they want to damage them by pushing them into the bushes. It's just that if you're close enough to that edge, you limit all the attacks to coming up the one side, and it just gives you literally half as much to worry about. You've got total control of what happens on your left, and you only have the right-hand side to worry about. So it just reduces your stress knowing that the left-hand side is clear. Spain.
That Norwegian crew did very well jumping on the diamond again, but again they...
It was hard work again, though.
It's killing yourself. You don't realize these little sprints. The sprints take it out more than doing long pulls. That's why a lot of people like to just do the long pulls and don't hang around the back doing quick, sharp, fast pulls. You know?
The sprints are fairly cheap, provided they're short enough. If you can do it within 10 strokes, we were always told, that was kind of our mantra in our group, training group. If you can do it in 10 strokes, do it. If you can't, then think twice. The worst thing is to do one of those sprints and fail, and it upsets you mentally and physically. But in come the Italians. McGregor and Burkett have opted to drop back behind Boros and Salty, so they can come probably up their inside slightly here, get out unhindered. So Italy, Hungary and South Africa away. The French choosing not to come in for a drink, as are Burkett and McGregor. But all the drinks went smoothly. Italians going extremely well. Bonacina and Vincenzi are looking good today.
And again, the South African...
It's the speed with which the Hungarians get in their boat.
They make everything up, yeah.
That gets them a couple of lengths further forward. So Burkett and McGregor working hard there. That's primarily not to catch up, but to hold off the people on their right-hand side. There's two Spaniards, so they can get a comfortable ride round. Once they've beaten the Spaniards, they calm right down. There's no rush for them to catch the front group.
They got the Norwegians that's probably going to pull them up. And again, I think this is the hardest part. You just come off a run and you're so tired, your heart rate's gone up through the roof, and now you got to put down the hammer because people are going away. And the French are really pulling well, followed by the Italians, and the South Africans again there, and then Boros and Salty, and then Hank and Andy. So again, they're not rushing to catch up. They're conserving energy as they catch up, and the two Spanish crews are going to have to work together to catch those guys up. And again, the Powerfullers are doing it tough at the back, trying to catch up again.
Powerfullers a long way back on that one. Spaniards looking very good.
South Africans both looking good.
Yeah.
Rice and McLaren are looking really strong.
McLaren driving very nicely there. Boros and Salty. Salty not hair out of place. He always looks so smart. In come the Spaniards. Be interested to see how well they portage, because we haven't really looked at them yet.
That was a good
That
portage.
looks very tidy. South Africans out, never losing contact with the boat. Andy Burkett, I like that. Spaniards come through the drinks lane. Let's have a look how efficient they can be. Job done. Super work there from their seconds. In at the other end is the Norwegians. They're losing a bit of time. Spaniards and South Africans.
Spaniards, South African again, it's significant.
And the French, a little bit hurried from the French there. But they're
And
away
Boris
well.
and Salty
Boris and Salty
caught
tidy
up
into
again.
the boat. It's the way they get into the boat, the Hungarians. It just saves them a length there. And their catch up has made that bit easier for it.
And he changed his paddle length or did something there. Did you see that? It was quite impressive.
No.
He did. He just did it. Go and have a look at a replay. Don't know what he did, but he adjusted his paddle.
I can tell you he wasn't changing his paddle length.
No, he did something with his paddle. You'll see. Ask him. Unless it came undone. Unless it came undone and he just tightened it. But they're comfortable. I mean, I think from this little mini group in front, I think that's where the winner's going to come from.
That's Jonathan Dagnes, Hansen and Moretti there, struggling, dead leg. Probably got a lean in their K2, so he's got a foot that feels like a potato right now. And he's running more normally, slowly.
One of the worst things, you get out, stand up, and you just fall down.
You can see him stumble as he goes down.
So what is your cure for your dead leg? Or have you never had it?
I think everyone's had a dead leg, especially if they've had a lean in a K2. I mean, there's no way around it. And you get out, your leg doesn't work, they're stopping, aren't they? They're done. I think if you've got the lean, there's no cure for that. You just have to hope that it goes away. Push on your legs a little bit more, get a bit of blood flowing.
Rotate more. Try
Back
and get
to an 8-boat group.
And again, guys are just trying to measure themselves. Nobody wants to do any efforts.
Good enough.
One of the first signs you see is the bow of the boat next to you moves back and then forwards and then back and then forwards and back and forwards. You think, hang on a minute, they shouldn't be moving up and down. They're getting tired. And you know that in your mind you can exclude them then from the finishes and stuff. But you don't always want to drop those guys either, because they're the ones who give you the waves. They form the Vs that you want to sit in. So you don't want to get rid of everyone just because they're looking tired. Sometimes you might actually want to nurse one of those people who's looking tired. Give them a bit of a break, cut them some slack so that they stay around. But a bit of a split going on here. There's some speed at the front of that group. We can't see who it is, but whatever happened there was quite spectacular, because that split the group into 4 and 4. It will regroup, I'm sure, but pretty impressive from whoever did that. One by one there. I think the French dropped onto the tail of the Spanish, which pushed Burkett and McGregor back a length. But it was the other Spaniards, I think, who suffered. So French in.
South Africans in there going for a drinks break. The other ones aren't.
This could split. Boros Salty also through the drinks lane. Spaniards in and away, as are the French. A bit of hassle with the South Africans there. Just allows everyone else to be part of that group also. Burkett dropping around the back and up into the V.
Another South African on their wave.
It's going to be tough for Burkett to get around the corner well from where he is there, but what a great job.
I think that's the beauty of pedals. You can really do that. Sharp turning.
This is hardcore now. This is very hard. Going close to the edge, you see the French having to duck. Well, not really duck, just power through the tree. Second South African crew, McLaren and Rice, have come up short a little bit now. And we're down to the main contenders, I think. Even if the others catch up, this has established a little bit of dominance in this race.
Yeah, so Boris likes to do this sometimes. I mean, you always think he's spent, he's in the back, and then he goes and starts pulling. Come to the front and pull. And he's pulling hard. He's pulling a bit of the second South African crew's struggling, and the two Spanish have done it actually well. They struggled at the beginning, and now they're actually going very well now.
They're going very comfortably there. Both the Spaniards having a little chat in the back crew there. Not sure who the white bow is, just to the Spaniards outside.
I think it's the Norwegians. No, the Norwegians, the
French, that's going to be, yep. So the French are still there, then there's a gap. Salty left the back of the boat alone until it came to him. You can tell he's relaxed. Spaniards running well. I think the French might suffer here. This is a proper run. This is a run with intent to break this group even further. Burkett and McGregor more than up to the job. Away they go.
Spanish
Salty in
messed
trouble
it up
with
a
his
little
paddles. But 3 away. Other Spaniards are going to make it, and the French have got a little gap to close, but nothing too spectacular, thanks to that little bit of collision between the Hungarians and the Spanish crew.
Quite an important move from Salty and Boros there. They showed themselves for the first time in this race. Show that they could take the initiative and do it quite easily.
Yeah, we've got this portage, and then it's the real portage after that. The final portage is such a big deal in these races. Norwegians are broken, aren't they, at the back there?
We've got all the way close.
They've done it, but Spaniards, drinks, the old drinks are away. Watch them come through the drinks lane. Over one head, that's job done. Over 2 head, that's job done. A little bit of hassle there.
The French team really lost a lot of time there. No, it was the Spanish team.
South Africans looking good. Spaniards looking
And
good.
the French, that was the other
good.
Spanish team that did. And there's Boris and Salty.
Boris and Salty, and here come the second Spaniards. McGregor and Burkett. There's a lot of shouting below us as the chase groups come through. McGregor and Burkett.
And I'd actually put down a little bit of hammer so that the guys have to work to get back.
You know what? They would be putting down a little bit of hammer there. That's McGregor's modus operandum. And if they are, it's not massively impressive.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
I'm not saying they are, but he would normally at that stage. He would churn it up a little bit, make someone pay.
Because, I mean, they're making Boris and them pay. They're going, they're not jumping back on. But you can see there's a lot of spent forces here, because look at, they're not jumping back onto that side wave very fast, eh?
Dead right.
Here, the other South African crew, they're with the group, and I've just been informed that actually Kenny Ross is still under 23. So they were the powerfuls. They just got to get in good, and you never know what can happen. Off they go. And here they go.
Here we go. Race comes in. This is the race for the finish now. Boris Salty, relatively untroubled at that speed. Burkett will go close at the entrance and then probably run along the portage quite a long way. He's close there. Now he'll keep coming up, keep coming up. He got out roughly in the middle. Hungarians out well.
Oh, the
Spanish in all sorts of trouble. They've held up the French, so it's Hungary versus South Africa.
And South Africa showing a clean pair of heels. They are really running. They know they're going to put into the water and they're going to go
They've got
flat
space.
out.
They've got time.
Boris and Salty might
Boris
get back
Salty
on.
nice and tidy into their boat, always out.
No, this time
It's
they
gonna
did
be
very
tight.
well.
South Africans away.
They gone.
Boris and Salty. It's a 2-horse race at the moment.
1 kilometre to go.
It's still going to be interesting because I think McGregor and Burkett aren't particularly well matched at high speed. I think they've got a huge cruising speed, but at high speed, you saw them at the end of the Sella race. Spaniards came past them.
And those French are there, which is impressive because they're going to need to be there at the end.
So Boris Salty to the left of McGregor and Burkett, and that's where they want to be.
I'm sure McGregor will keep everybody to the left-hand side, so they go down the inside of the turn. They'd want to be on the inside of the turn for that last 500.
They do, but if you're Boros at this stage, you'd far rather be on the outside than
You're getting
squashed
squashed
on the
in,
inside.
exactly.
So they're doing what they want to do, and it's going to come down to a Dior-style finish.
Here come the French back into contention. They're struggling a little bit to get back, so they're not that fresh.
Spaniards taking the gamble up the inside.
Another Spanish.
This is open again. It's open again. It's Burkitt and McGregor. It's going to test their coordination. There's a crew coming in here. All five back together.
Sure, it's going to be fantastic. We haven't had five in the final bunch for a long time.
There's big decisions to be made for that Spanish crew in the red, yellow and white boat. They're going to have to come out there until after turn, and then they've got to pick
the French are going up to go around.
But not on the inside and work from the inside. If they can get around here, Spaniards already awake
Hank
to them.
looking back, just checking. You see Hank's just looking back to see who's there. He wants to know if he can cut a few people off, because he's got right away hand. That's exactly what's happening. Here we go.
Boros, Salty, looking good. French going to have to wait. There's not a lot of room there.
Oh, that was close to going the wrong side of the buoy.
Boros and Salty looking strong.
And the Spanish crew's in trouble because they can't do anything from the diamond.
Not from there, and they're going to have to come out Boros and Salty's side, and the chance of coming around them is slim. So in that position, sometimes you have to wait and wait and wait and hope you can pick off.
Here they go. Here they go on the other side. So now it's going to be fun.
This isn't what Boros and Salty want. Boros and Salty want to be left alone to pick when they go. They don't want the Spanish dictating to them. So this is a big headache for Salty and Boros here.
Again, remember last year in the K1 where the guys from the diamond came into third place.
Salty will be giving Boros information on the Spaniards to their left.
And I don't think there's enough space for all these five boats, so somebody's going to have to give.
Well, there won't be space one side once Burkitt decides which side the attack's coming from, because Shaw, as there's five boats in the group, he's going to move towards the people he's scared of.
It's going to be very tight.
Boros and Salty waiting. Salty is the man with the speed in this group.
Also, those French aren't slow.
Salty and Boros are doing it.
This is stress. Away goes. I think too early for Burkitt maybe, but maybe he thinks he's got it. Boros and Salty moving up. It's a well-coordinated attack here. And it looks like the South Africans have got it.
They've still got it, but they're coming. The Hungarians coming.
I
cannot believe what I'm seeing here. But I think they've still got it.
Have got it.
They've got it.
South Africa from Hungary, from Spain. Great job by the South Africans.
And
that was won.
41, still winning.
That race was won 300 metres after the last top turn.
Fantastic and so fair, so good sportsmanship. It is a narrow finishing area. But everyone behaved perfectly, and it was a fair race, even all the way into the finish line.
A great race.
Great race and a great victory for South Africa, and a silver medal to be proud of for Hungary.
There was an element of doubt as to whether McGregor and Burkitt had the coordination at speed over the finish after their finish in the cellar earlier this year, but they certainly had it there. The Hungarians couldn't make any impact on them, and it's a great race. They all know they've done a good race there. It was a well-fought race by everybody. McGregor very happy with that. Superb.